DA.
Robin, how are you, sir?
Doing well, thank you.
Good. Hey, I know over your career, you have been around guys that have tried to play through injuries or through recovering from injuries in big spots. What did Brad look like to you today, and how do you think he kind of gutted through it and was effective down the stretch?
And I thought Brad looked like Brad. When we needed him, he stepped up. Just having him on the floor, there's such a huge impact on the gravity of the game.
Thank you.
Fred.
Hey, Robin, Scott kind of summed it up well. He said that this game kind of mimicked the path of your guys' season, just falling down and having the comeback. What is it about you guys as a group that allows you not to hit panic mode when you do have those deficits, whether it's over the course of a season or in a game like this?
I think we do a great job of looking to each other, looking to Russ, looking to Brad to keep us together, to keep us grounded but motivated.
And Ish had a really big game tonight. I know you guys are kind of the vet role players in the locker room. What's it like to see him go off like that in a game this important?
That was a lot of fun. You know, we know he can do it, but every time he does it, it's still a lot of fun.
Ava.
Robin, you're not the first one who's kind of brought up the team's chemistry as something that's kind of helped keep you guys together this year. When do you feel like that reached like peak chemistry, or like, I don't know, Scott Brooks called it brotherhood?
That's hard to say. You know, I think when you go through tough times, that's something that, you know, you're either, it's kind of a cliche, but people say you're either going to separate or you're going to come together. I think we bonded a little bit when we went through those rough periods we had, and we came out stronger for it.
And do you have a turning point in your mind? We obviously know April 5th was kind of the day that, since you guys have won 16 of the past 22, but do you in your mind have a turning point as to when you guys kind of point to, here's when things started going well for us?
It's hard to say. I don't think guys have really been looking back, but I think you can credit a number of things. Our chemistry overall, Russ, Brad, the way everybody's been playing. Gaff has been giving us some huge minutes. Alex has had some big games. Garrison, AG, you can go down the list.
Neil.
Hey, Robin, not only tonight, but, you know, earlier in the season, a lot of opposing coaches will try and say, oh, you're traveling on a lot of your hook shot moves. How has your footwork progressed and developed just so that, you know, you're playing within the rules and able to get all those off?
That's a good question. I'm not quite sure myself. Some kind of harnessed insanity, I suppose. I don't know. I've never stopped and thought about it. I'm not sure I could ever elaborate on that.
Thanks, Robin.
Sorry, I couldn't be any clearer.
Fred.
Robin, you're a creative guy. I'm just curious what your thoughts are on the play-in tournament as a whole and just kind of the craziness it adds to everything.
I'm sure you've already got enough of, oh, wait, we're the 8th seed. The play-in tournament is blight on the NBA, on NBA culture. But I think it's been exciting. It's been exciting to follow, on, you know, to watch the West, to watch the teams in the East. I'd say for the second season of the play-in game, it's been, to me, it's been a success. It's been a lot of fun, I think.
And you've played in the postseason before. There's such a lead up in the postseason in terms of like scouting, getting to know an opponent, and especially throughout a series. Obviously, you haven't gone through the plan yet, but has it been different? Might it be different in preparing for a single game situation in terms of scouting and that kind of stuff, as opposed to going through a series?
That's a good question. Perhaps. I think everybody's approaching it as another playoff game. I assume Boston is, that we are. It's hard to say, honestly.
Any other questions for Robin? I think that's it then. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll start with Ava.
Ish, we're hearing a lot of comments on your guys' chemistry and brotherhood and everything like that after this game. Why has that been important for you guys, especially in this last kind of chunk of the season?
I think that's important in team sports because I think the chemistry amongst each other is like the most important thing. I know people look at the X's and O's and the different things like that, but I think the chemistry that you build amongst each other, if you do that off the court, it shows on the court. And I think that's what everybody is seeing, in these last 25, 30 games. The chemistry has been, slowly but surely built off the court. And now you see it on the court, trusting each other, building each other up, getting on each other, and people not taking it personal. So I think it's important in team sports. I think it's important in families. I think it's important in every situation that you do when there's 2 or more people involved.
I obviously know you guys went through a lot together this season, but you also weren't able to like hang out that much or get to know each other that well. How did you build that other than just like going through all the COVID stuff and all of the craziness?
Yeah, they calmed down on the COVID stuff, on the COVID protocols. And with that, obviously we're kind of coming out of it slowly but surely. We're still not, out of it, but, things are getting better. And so with that being said, we have been able to kind of spend a little bit more time with each other, talk in the locker room, in the training room, when we go on the road, on the planes, just kind of build that camaraderie. And I think that's been probably the biggest thing. And everything got thrown together so quick, this year. And so people have to put that in perspective. And now, we're hitting our strides. It's a blessing. We just got to keep going.
Matt Paris.
Hey Ish, this may be a little silly question, but do you believe this streak? Like you guys are 17-6 since April 5th. Like, does that send like a message or anything like that going into the plan, like that you guys are a more dangerous team because of the streak?
I don't know what other people think at all. I don't know, Matt. I guess for us, it's a confidence builder that we're playing well. Everybody else, they're gonna probably think and feel however way they feel, and they're gonna prepare for us. But for us and our chemistry and how we've been playing, you can see it, you can feel it, the confidence that we're kind of building amongst each other and in ourselves. And so I think that's what's been the probably biggest and most important thing. As far as people being on notice, I don't know. I've learned to kind of worry about the things I can control, and that relieves me of a lot of stress and anxiety.
All right. Does that confidence translate then like to the fourth? Like, do you see that kind of play out on the floor?
Hi, Matt. I can't hear you, bro.
Did you see that confidence kind of translate to the floor in the fourth quarter?
You said, does it translate to the floor?
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah. I think it does. My fault. I can't hear you. I think it does translate to the floor. Just that confidence and how we're kind of playing and flowing, and so we got to keep it going.
Kellen.
Hey-ish. Scott Brooks was saying kind of like just a lot of challenges behind the scenes with all the protocols, and I'm sure like the health issues with the team and stuff that he said that, the public doesn't even know about. What was the biggest challenge for you and in your mind for the team this regular season?
Yeah, it's been difficult, but we're not probably the only team going through it. Every team is going through it, and I think what has happened for us, we've kind of gotten in the rhythm of every day and what you got to do, and so we're all, a product of routine. I think once we've kind of gotten into the routine, it's been a lot. At first, it was very frustrating for everybody, very frustrating to everybody that was a part of the organization. And I think what has happened is we've gotten in the rhythm of flow of what we're supposed to do and what time we're supposed to get tested and what's the rules, what's the protocols and different things like that. But at first it threw us off, and I'm sure it threw a lot of people off. I mean, it was a stretch like 7 to 8 games where, 7 to 8 guys had COVID. It was a stretch where guys got hurt, guys got banged up. So we've been through a lot. It's a blessing that we continue to push and press through. But I don't want to, be too, Debbie Downer because everybody's going through it. You know what I mean? So, but it's a blessing that we've kind of pushed through and pressed through, and now we're in a position to play into the playoffs.
Appreciate it, Ish.
Fried.
Hey, Ish. I know you guys always take a lot of pride when the bench steps up in big moments, and I know that's something you get prideful about as well. What's it like just seeing you step up, Robin step up, and some other guys in a moment like this?
Right, that's our job. That's what we, and obviously early in the year, I don't think I was doing my job as well. And I still got so many other things that I can get better at. But that's what a team is all about. We know what Russ and B is gonna do. But it's important. We know what the starting five is gonna do. Rui, all those guys, Alex, and but for us, it's important. For us, it's what makes a team. Come off, give that, come off the bench punch, and keep everybody honest. And then those two take us home.
And you've really played much better than you did in the first half of the season after coming back from the injury. I know you tweaked your jumper a little bit. Do you attribute it to anything else?
Nah, you know what, man? Just chemistry. Just learning how to play with everybody, being aggressive, not overthinking things. I don't know. Fred, I'm gonna be honest with you. I try not to overthink it. Like, I play like trash in the beginning of the season, so there was no other place to go but up. So what Cardi B say? What's up when it's up? So it worked out. Went up.
Thanks, Ish.
That's all the time for we have today. Thank you, Ish.
Appreciate you.
Fred.
Hey Russ, just after all you guys fought through, and I know you spoke to what it was like to get into the play-in tournament the other night, but to be able to get up to eighth in this sort of fashion, what is that like for you guys?
I mean, it's good. We've like I've said all season long, I've always had the utmost confidence in everybody in the locker room, and always try to find ways to battle the storm or weather the storm, and you got to give credit to our coach, number one, because he done an amazing job of making adjustments on the fly. I know that a lot of times the players get all the recognition, but Scotty did a hell of a job. Has done a hell of a job of just being consistent and finding ways to make us better, along with the coaching staff as well. A lot of guys step up, a lot of great things along the way. To kind of get us back into this point where nobody, thought we'd be here. So.
Ava.
Russ, as you guys developed your chemistry this year, how important was it for you to just be able to talk kind of plainly to each other and say, this isn't working and here's what we need to do to turn stuff around?
I mean, there's no sugarcoating. Sugarcoating don't really get you nowhere in this game. I learned that a long time ago, and my job as a leader is to make sure that I'm straightforward with myself first. I'm being honest with myself, and then also being honest with my teammates to try to get the best out of them as we kind of try to figure out, our season out throughout the season.
When do you guys feel like you reached the type of chemistry that you need to have to make a run like this?
I don't know when or was exactly, but I think that road trip, that LA road trip was a good road trip for us to kind of get our minds in the right place. And I thought that was a kind of a turning point for our season, in my opinion.
Zach.
Hey, Russ, what would be your advice to young players like Rui, who's going to be playing in his first career NBA postseason game?
Just to be himself. Rui is a hell of a player. He's done so many things. His second season, he's not going to play perfect. None of us are going to play perfect. And that's the reality. I think a lot of times, a lot of players, young players, put so much pressure on themselves that it's not needed, because the reality of it, the game, it comes down to guys missing and making shots, and that's all a part of the game as well. So going out and having fun is the most important part that he should be worried about, and that's it.
Thank you.
DA.
Russ, over the years, you have played with and through a lot of injuries this time of year. And I just wonder, what does a player do to kind of get outside of themselves and deal with and adjust to playing when they're injured this time of year?
You got to rely, your teammates, rely on the staff, rely on just the guys around to rally you up. It's this time of year, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are dealing with so many injuries, nicks and bruises. But, you got to be able to have something from within and be able to go out and compete at a level that you can help, your team win games.
What is more difficult? Is it the physical limitation, or is it pushing yourself mentally to kind of go past what you think you can do?
I mean, I only can speak from my personal experience last year. It's more physical, at least for me. That doesn't allow you to do the things that you're able to do to help your teammates out. And also mental, because I know that I'm kind of letting my teammates down and not allowing them to see the best of me. And unfortunately, in the sports world, injury or not, the media and people judge you based on that particular time. So it's kind of I think it's like a lose-lose situation, because if you don't play and you hurt, then it's a conversation. But if you play and you hurt and you play bad, and it's like, oh well, can't play anymore. A conversation. So it's a combination. It's a lot of things going on. Honestly, DA. Mentally, you got to be mentally strong because you got to be ready for when the times you don't play well, and then if you do play well, people expect you to play well. So mentally, it's a tough part, but as long as you got the right people in the corner, have faith. Which I lean on all the time. Everything else will take care of itself.
Neil?
Hey Russ, at the end of the game, you and Brad kind of shared a moment. I'm just curious what that was like after everything you guys have been through this season.
It's a good feeling, not just for myself, but Brad fighting through what he's going through at the moment and going out and laying on the line. You appreciate guys like him, and you don't take his talent, his mental, anything for granted, because he wants to win and wants to win bad, and will do anything to kind of help his team out. And that moment was strictly just to let him know that I appreciated him since being here. And we fought through so much to get here now, and nobody believed that we'd be here, and it's only up from here.
Thanks, Russ.
Paul?
Russ, congrats on the victory. So Russell, when you look at this team, 17-6 to finish the season, is this the team you thought you had when you broke training camp?
I've always had so much confidence in this locker room, regardless of personnel, regardless of who we had or who we didn't have. I'm always confident in who we have and the things we're capable of doing. And I knew all along that once we get it together and click and get healthy, we'd be a difficult team to beat. And I still believe that.
Karita?
Hey, Russ. Throughout the season, just because it's been so up and down, Coach Brooks has received some blame and some heat from fans. Can you speak from a player's perspective how he has contributed to the turnaround of this team?
Yeah, like I just said, I just mentioned it earlier. Like I said, players get a lot of credit and a lot of credit because we on the floor, but behind the scenes, Scotty is one hell of a coach, not just that, a person, and does an amazing job of making sure that we got all our stuff together, because if it wasn't for him and his ability to be able to make decisions on the fly, make the right calls and put the right guys in and out of the game and put us in the right sets to be successful, a lot of stuff wouldn't even be happening. So, all the outside noise, it really doesn't matter, honestly, because internally we know how important he is, and I know how important he is to myself and to the team.
I think that's it. Thank you, Russ.
Yep, thanks.